And it's just sad because, as you know, I wouldn't consider that I'm dating, but I peek in and out once in a while. I might stick my head out once in a while because it's like it's sometimes it's just safer to not date because men want full access to you, but they don't want to be responsible to you. They don't want to hear your wants, your needs, your desires just to show up for them. A lot of things women are asking you for is to better show up for you. I talked about this in one of my videos about God's way for marriage and how, taking care of your wife is like presenting a gift to yourself. Taking care of her is like putting money in the bank, and men don't want to do it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Closing Open Wounds with Cleisha. I am your host, Cleisha. So, listen, I wanted to talk briefly about the dating situations that we got going on in the dating field right now. It's a lot, and I have various conversations with multitude of people, throughout my day about different things, what's going on in the dating world, unrealistic expectations, the 3 6s, what I like to call women that wants the 3 6s. What is that, Cleisha? What are you talking about? The 3 6s is we want a man that's 6 feet, 6 figures, and got a 6 pack. Okay. So those are the 3 6s. It's just a whole bunch of things that are going on in the dating world, but talking to people that have obviously been hurt. I've been hurt in relationships and in marriage. It is hard out here. I think, unfortunately, a lot of us are too hurt to love. We're too wounded to love properly. We get hurt. We put on, our defense mechanisms. We put a shield around our heart. Now we'll deal with people. We'll interact. We'll mingle. We'll even, be with people intimately. But if you're not letting people in, are we ever really going to experience the love that we so desire? Some of us, I believe, are lying to ourselves, saying that we don't want love or don't need love. And I am speaking from experience. I am divorced, and being single is not a bad thing. I actually enjoy my peace and solitude, spend my money how I want, do what I want, cook if I want, clean if I want. It's not a bad thing. Peace, of it all is great. Spending alone time, recharging, spending time with the Lord, and just doing the things that I want to do. So singleness is not bad. I've been divorced since 2022, and I've dated and everything like that. But I woke up today and I was like, do I really want to be married again? Now, I've said that to you guys millions of times. Like, I'm going to get married again because that is one of the promises that God has given me, that I was going to actually be married to a man that actually cared about me, who didn't have ulterior motives, wasn't going to use me, someone that I could actually depend on, someone that I feel safe enough with to submit to, someone that will allow me to continue to rest in my feminine energy. Let me tell y'all something. I've said this before. I've been married 3 times. There's no, y'all know that, right? Been married 3 times. You guys know that. And my first 2 marriages, I was young, and 20, early 30s, and very masculine. Very in my masculine energy. Y'all know I have trauma. Y'all know I'm the firstborn. Y'all know I'm hyper independent because ain't nobody coming for me. Ain't nobody coming for your girl. If I don't have it, it ain't gonna be had. I don't have anyone to call when I'm short. You know what I mean? So, and that's okay. God has blessed me. All is well. Now, in my last marriage, I was able to realize that um, who I was, the exterior, the being more masculine. You guys know we have feminine and masculine energy in all of us. And a lot of times it could be moved towards, for women towards the masculine side because we're single mothers. I've been married and felt single. I've had to take care of children. There's no sick days. There's not me calling out, even if I'm going through a breakup or a divorce, I got to get up and go to work. Wipe your tears, keep it pushing, cry in the break room if you need to, or in the car. We got to keep it moving. But in the last marriage, I realized that, you know what, I want to go over here. Like, I want to be over here. And the gentleman, my ex-husband, he was fine. He was a real, you would call it an alpha male. I don't think he really could really get the benefits of my femininity because he was just to me, and he's a nice guy. He was just more stuck on himself. He was a bachelor for many years. He's never been married, never had any kids. So I don't, and he was in his 40s, so I don't think he wanted me, but I don't think he really knew how to consider me and take care of me because he's never had to answer to anyone. But another story, we'll talk about that in Couch Confessions. So for the past, I want to say 5 years, I've been more in my feminine energy, right? I've been moving from the masculine more to the feminine side, right? Now, let me tell you what the singleness has done for me. This time to myself, especially within this last year, I have been way over here. And I love it. I love being in my soft girl era. I love being more feminine. I love how vulnerable I can be. I love how emotional I can be. Let me tell you something. When I was younger, very prideful, and I didn't stick up for myself. I didn't feel comfortable enough, to say, hey, this is bothering me. Or if I said it, I said it in the wrong manner. And, that will cause problems too. If you don't know how to talk to a man, that causes problems too. Because I'm nowhere near perfect, guys. I had to grow up because I grew up fast, with trauma and sexual abuse and having to grow up fast. I saw my mom be in domestic situations. I've seen men hit on my mom or try to shake on her and, be really rough with her because she suffered addiction. And I guess they thought that they could beat it out of her, whatever. So me seeing that 5, 6 years old, I'm growing up like I wish a nigga would. I'm just being honest. Y'all know I'm the realest woman of God you want to know. So I grew up like, what's up? you know, and I think about my exes in high school, they thought it was attractive. They're weird. One of my exes really got like turned on by my anger issues at the time, but that's how I was. High school, 20s, probably early 30s. I'm like, I'm gonna go up your top. Like, you're not gonna sit here and play with me, right? But like I said, as I'm getting older, I have sons. I'm always um, concerned about what they see and how a woman should treat them and how a woman should speak to them and different things like that. Because I'm like, I gotta raise these boys. They're gonna be men, and now they're grown. And I love the men that they're turning out to be considerate, just well mannered, and they know their role as a man and how a man how a man's presence can shift the whole household. I mean, and I told my sons this, and I'm like, listen, you can come home from a hard day of work. The kids could be acting up in a roar. Your wife could be all kind of sorts and just mass hysteria in the home. And you come home and you could just shut all of that down. Like, you could just, your presence, taking the load off of your wife, dealing with your kids. Because a lot of times, we women, we working too. A lot of us can't afford to be single, stay-at-home moms. You know what I mean? Like, we're not afforded that. So, you know, men have to pitch in too with the housework with the kids. It's not like back in the day. And you know what? Now, it brings to my attention, that annoys me when we talk about, how back in the day women, were more submissive and they took care of the home and they cooked and they cleaned and everything like that. Well, they didn't have to work. They didn't have to go out and make, get the bacon and fry it. We're living in different times. And now sometimes women make more than the men. So it's a different type of dynamic. We talk about, and I talked about this, several times with different colleagues and friends and everything, how, grandpa, pop, whatever, the older men took care of everything. And, even if he cheated or whatever, he still was taken care of by the wife and everything like that. Well, let me tell you something about that wife back then. Let me tell you about Nana and my mom back then, Big Mama back then. He was her only support. He was her only source. Did she really have a choice? Did she really have a choice to stay? I mean, we're living in different times. Y'all got to stop with this. We out here, we making money, we're doing big things. A lot of us are successful. And now a lot of men are intimidated by that. Another topic, another day. But we got to stop with that. I'm tired of hearing that excuse, that, even though Pop had his ways, he still took care of her. He had them kids. And then half the time he had a whole family on the other side of town. Like, ugh, annoyed. Anyway, we're living in different times. So now, fast forward, now talking about what I'm talking about. Um, you know, everybody has been hurt. Everybody has been disappointed in love. And like I said in one of my previous videos, it seems like we're all just going to our corners and we're just staying there. We come out to play for a little bit, but we never give our all. We never open up. We're never emotionally available, to someone. And you could really like that person. I think it's really, really sad and it's really, really heartbreaking. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna talk about men versus women in this. And women, we suffer heartbreak, we suffer cheating, infidelity, all of that. And we get up and we still love y'all. Like we still get up. We've had heartbreaks years ago and we still, generally speaking, it's not everybody. We still get back out there and are able to love fully, right? Just start over. I really try to make a habit of not making my current situation. I don't have a situation right now, but I'm just saying, I don't want to treat anyone who I'm dating or I'm seeing, and make them pay for what my ex-husband did. Most times, more often than not, I try to come in with a clean slate. Now, if you show me something, I have experience like, this look too familiar. This feel too familiar. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna nip it in the butt. But it's crazy because it's like y'all men, y'all get hurt in high school, and it's like it's over for y'all. And I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. It's like y'all get hurt that one time, that one divorce, which it is bad. I know. I've done the studies. Men go through breakups and divorce way worse than us women do. Y'all not built like how we're built. And I think it's sad that you can actually find someone, you're courting someone, you're dating someone who's really good for you, good for your life, good for your heart, good for your soul. And you're not able to open up. You're not able to be emotionally available. You're not able to have those uncomfortable conversations. And I think it's sad. And I'm praying that, we the world needs love. I know it's so cliche, but we really, really need love. And I'm just so saddened when I hear people that are unable to love or too afraid to love to take the risk. And let me tell y'all, sometimes I'm there too. When if I go on a few dates and I'm talking to somebody or whatever, and sometimes I come home or I have to hang up the phone and I'm just like, I can't do this. This world is crazy. And I can only speak from my standpoint. And I know men, you guys have your challenges dealing with women. These women that are broken, abandoned. We didn't have, if you didn't have a father figure, thank God I had my grandfather in the home. You know, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of abuse. There is a lot of neglect. there's just a lot of trauma. So I understand men have things, there's a lot of needy women, women that need you to take care of them because they can't support themselves. Men, you holler in the comments about what you go through, but I can only speak for me. And it's just sad because, as I wouldn't consider that I'm dating, but I peek in and out once in a while. You know what I mean? I might stick my head out once in a while because it's like it's sometimes it's just safer to not date because men want full access to you, but they don't want to be responsible to you. They don't want to hear your wants, your needs, your desires just to show up for them. A lot of things women are asking you for is to better show up for you. I talked about this in one of my videos about God's way for marriage and how, taking care of your wife is like presenting a gift to yourself. Taking care of her is like putting money in the bank, and men don't want to do it. They don't want to take you out. And we're not even asking for the finest 5-star restaurants. I don't go to an Applebee's. I go on a coffee date. I don't drink coffee, but I sure enough would love me a green or herbal tea. I would go get some ice cream. I would take a walk in the park, go on a boardwalk or whatever. So we're not even, because this is the thing, we women, and like I said this, and I have to say this again, statistically, a lot of single women are making more than our single men. Sometimes, not all the time. I know single men that are making more than me. That's not what I'm saying. But generally speaking, a lot of men that I come across do not make as much money as me. And that's not a problem. I don't care. I'm not about the money. Basically, I'm trying to say is, a lot of us women, older women, I'll be 44 this year. We're not looking for you to take care of us. We're just looking to be cared for. There is a difference. A real woman, an authentic woman, a healed woman knows that, you're not going to attract the man by saying, yeah, I make this money and I'm doing that. And what can you do for me? And this and that. We were past that. If you're dealing with somebody like that, then she is not the one. Please move along. Let her go. Let it go. Let it burn. But, women my age, and let me tell you something. I know some wonderful women, like even in my church. I know some good women, like, wholesome women. And, where are the prospects? Where are they? And I think they are around, but I just think that everyone is just like going in their corners and nobody wants to show up. And I pray that everyone finds their person, but it is looking rough. It's looking rough. I'm a property manager. You guys know that. I run into professional men every day, whether they're contractors, policemen, detectives, contractors, like, I run into them a lot, and a lot of times, and I've been in this business for a long time, right? A lot of times they are married, and I'm just saying from my corner of the world, this is my point of view. I know my husband is out there somewhere. Okay. He's going to find me, but the men that I come across are very young. They think I'm young. So, I get hit on by the men my son's age. My son will be 24 this year. My oldest is 24. My youngest is 18. They're young. They're married already, or they're just handsomely gay. My gay men. Oh my God, I love them. So really, like, it is a shortage out here. And let me bring this up too. By the time the guy I had my eye on wants to settle down, he probably gonna be in his 50s and 60s. Nobody wants to be a hospice wife. I'm ready to settle down now. And you got one foot in the grave. No. Like, I'm still trying to cut a rug. I'm still trying to, you know what I mean, have a night on the town. I'm still trying to take my trips. I'm still trying to see the world. I don't want to settle down when I'm 60 years old. I don't even want to settle down in my 50s. And not that I'm rushing. If that's be God's will, then that's be God's will, because I'm still traveling. I'm still doing what I got to do. But this is why, and people talk about the Tracy Ellis stuff. Now, I don't know her background, I don't know her story, I don't know her trauma. Everybody say she in her masculine energy. Well, if we don't have a man, we have to protect ourselves. So there has to be some level of masculinity, or we're going to get ran the freak over. Everybody talks about women dating younger men. First of all, we look young, especially for our black doing crack. Okay, we get a lot of younger guys that do push up. I just don't want an older man that is already set in his ways. He's stubborn. He don't want to listen to me, or he just too tired of life and now he ready to settle down, and you just letting yourself go. No, we women, and I know men are too, but I can only speak for me. Men, holla in the comments. Some of the stuff that y'all going through, we can talk about it, right? We can have a panel discussion in the future about it, because I love to hear the men's side of the story and what y'all have to go through. It's amazing to me. I'm like, dang, y'all go through that too. One of my friends was telling me how, him dating women, and women be lying, and they still, living with the baby daddy and can't talk on the phone, can't go out, and they creeping and lying and cheating and asking for money, and can I have $40? Like, women do that. Well, so I know y'all men go through stuff too. Listen, I feel for y'all, and I'm praying for y'all too. But like I said, I'm talking to the women as a woman, and the things that I have personally experienced. I don't want that. I spent all of my youth raising my kids, and I did a darn good job. I love my boys. Respectful, mannerable. They're going to be good husbands and fathers. No doubt about it. They take care of me. Like, I raised them right. It was tough, but I raised them right. And we're going to have them on the show within the next few weeks. But it's hard out here. I don't want a man that was fine, back in the day. And now, not that it matters, because, I don't want no skinny man. But now you got a pot belly, and you just ready for retirement, and you just want somebody to be there for you when you on your deathbed. No. Women don't want that. And we already talked about how even different sex drives can be as you get older. How, women, we get older, we want it more. And then because y'all didn't play so much in the 20s and 30s, now y'all slowing down. Y'all know what I'm saying is right. We have an issue. Like, can we please meet in the middle somewhere? Like, can we please? I'm at the point now where I'm just like, God, this ain't looking good for the girl. This ain't looking good. I'm at the point where I have so much peace. I don't want no parts. I'm a giver, and takers don't know when to stop asking for stuff. Like, I need to be poured into. I need to be taken care of. I need to be held. I need to know. I want to be. Oh, let me call my husband, because Mm-mm. It's hard out here. God help us. I think eh, I don't know. It's just not looking good, y'all. It's not looking good for both sides. Um, but yeah, hopefully we're not too hurt to heal. Hopefully we're not too hurt to love again. Um, just praying for the healing of our hearts, and we go through different things just to make us better, and make us aware of our surroundings and the people that we come in contact with. But not everybody's a cheater. Not everybody's going to hurt you. You got to be open. Now, if someone shows you otherwise, then yeah, you fall back, you pull back, you do what you got to do to protect yourself. But it's okay to love. And I'm talking to you as I'm talking and encouraging myself. It is okay to love. Right now, I think I'm going to continue sitting on down, because every time I peek my head out, I come right back in the house. And, so that's all for today. Like, share, and subscribe. Please like this video. Please put in your comments. It helps me with the algorithm. And honestly, more than that, I want to know how you guys feel. How is it dating for you in the world today? If you're single, if you're divorced, I really want to know your challenges so we can talk about it. Maybe it can be another subject in one of the next episodes. I really want to hear from you men. What's going on, but put your experiences in the comments, not too much detail, but let me know what's up. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.